This is an absolute shit show.
What's the crack?
There's something going on in the boxing, but the streams keep stopping.
You've got to laugh, haven't you? What a fucking pile of shit.
Honestly, this is a joke. What's going on?
I just feel sorry for these guys. You know, they've trained for 2 years grafting their balls off so that some dickhead who doesn't put the graft in to make sure a fucking proper production company's running this shit can fuck it up for them. Eddie is glaring at him across the ring, showing no fear, very keen to get it on immediately. My nerves are going a bit here.
Why are you so nervous? What's the nerve?
I just, feeling it.
Here we go, guys.
And Eddie's all of a sudden switched hand position. Oh, Eddie's landing at will here.
Yeah.
And Thor's swinging,
yeah.
Thor's swinging wildly. All of that boxing isn't happening at all from Thor. And Eddie's landing every time on the chin. Every single time with the right hand, Eddie is landing. Thor looks cumbersome, clumsy. Eddie not using great boxing technique, but it doesn't matter.
See him using his hips, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one shot and one shot only from Eddie. That's the only thing. He's not using his jab at all, and he's got a great jab. So I'd just like to see a little bit more of that. Oh, and it's a big overhand right from Eddie again, and Eddie's starting to get confident, and he's really landing right on that chin of Thor. Thor's taken them fairly well, to be fair, but you can't take that many of those.
No.
Oh, he's swinging from a mile out, Eddie. I feel like Eddie is cut over the eye. He's got a cut over the right eye right now, and Thor will get some confidence from that. Eddie not defending himself ideally, and that 1-2 down the middle from Thor has had some sort of an impact. Thor keeps him on the edge of that jab, and that was not what I wanted to see.
Eddie's looking a little gassed.
It's not what I wanted to see from Eddie. I thought he'd get closer up, get on the inside, but that jab has definitely taken an impact for Thor. Eddie seemed to know exactly where Thor's jaw was, and it just all sort of fell apart halfway through the round. He stopped throwing.
Completely.
Clearly, he tired a little bit. Thor then started gathering a bit of momentum, landing the 1-2. I've got to give credit to Thor. Some of those right hands he took there were beastly right hands. You know, they must have hurt him. Eddie did look a little tired. Oh, and he's hurt him! Eddie with a straight right, and he's wobbled Thor. Thor getting a standing count, saved by the ropes. It was the first shot thrown in the second round, and that's what I wanted to say from Eddie. Eddie will get confidence from this. He just needs to loosen up a bit. He got 2 10s, and he was putting everything into those punches.
Right.
And he needs to just go soft power, not everything 100%. Thor's reach is still a problem, but Eddie doesn't look too fazed by it. I just worry about Eddie's gas tank a bit here. He's throwing far too hard. You can't put 100% into every punch like that and not gas out. As great an athlete as Eddie is, every boxer falls victim to this. So he just needs to maintain that energy, because we've seen at the end of this first round, he was already tiring a little bit. What's worrying me is everything that Eddie's doing, it's one trick over and over. It's the same punch over and over and over again.
But you're thinking of that from someone who's boxed for a while's perspective. Thor isn't necessarily
good left, though. Finally, use your left, son. Come on.
Thor isn't going to have the tactics to be able to work that out.
And he needs to throw the jab as well, though. He's got a good jab. He's only throwing the right hand now. He's throwing from a mile away right now. Thor is too tall, too long. He needs to get up close, get Thor to commit. Thor with a nice stiff left hand. Oh,
there you go. He's dropped him. There you go.
Oh, and he says it's a slip. The referee says it's a slip. It felt like Paddy's won.
Paddy's won easily, by the way. He just had the guy in a hold, and he was. It was a submission. Yeah, it was a submission.
He's dropped Thor, but he's not boxing sensibly. Everything is, I want to knock you out in one punch. Just set your punches up, mate. You've got him. If Eddie had been coached by who I get coached by, he would have had Thor beaten by now.
Thor's not the aggressor in any of these.
Oh, and it's a good straight right by... it was a great straight left, sorry, by Thor. They're both waiting for the other one to commit and then counter.
Bang, yeah, because that's exactly what Thor did, really, wasn't it?
Good head movement by Eddie, good backing away there, although he's backing away in a straight line. You'd rather him circle out, but he's still doing enough to evade a punch. Both of them, no surprise, could be better boxers, but they're digging in, they're dogfighting now. Oh, and Eddie's gone down!
Eddie's down. Okay.
And that was a good shot by Thor. Eddie's gone down.
5 seconds left.
He's back
the bell's going to say
he's back up.
Yeah.
And Eddie's not looking his best here. Obviously, he's just been dropped. What worries me is I feel like Eddie's power shots are very predictable, and the best of them have been weathered by Thor. I did say if Thor just started doing a little more he could give Eddie some problems.
Start of round 4 now, guys.
Eddie needs to just get on the inside. The longer this goes on, you would expect Thor's gas tank to be the better of the two, because Thor was always in strongman, the mover of the two, whereas Eddie was the static power guy. Unfortunately, Eddie was throwing that right hand far too hard, far too often early on. He wasn't setting it up. I feel like if he just set it up more, he would have had Thor out if he had by now. All of the worries I had about Eddie's preparation in regards to his boxing technique are basically here to be seen, because his physical advantages should have been capitalised on, and I don't feel like his boxing coach has done him any favours there. Thor's got a guy who's trained a world champion boxer, so you know Thor's guy knows what he's doing, whereas Eddie's swinging in a way that looks amateur. And I'm sure he can perform better than this, but unfortunately, you get one shot, one night, and Thor's had a few warm-up fights to knock the butterflies off, and it possibly has been the thing that's helped him stay composed. He's tried to slip those punches, but Thor's go gadget arms, they're so fucking long, it's unbelievable. Oh, Eddie's tiring now. Eddie's going to get hurt here if he's not careful.
Wow.
He bounces off the ropes and launches a fucking right hand after taking a big shot. Good head movement by Eddie, actually.
Good hip movement as well, right? Yeah.
Like, the guy is this is the thing, is a lot of people won't give these guys credit. There's such natural athletes. Like, if you compare this to the first YouTube boxing matches we watch, it's night and day. Thor's finding it too easy to evade Eddie's shots. Eddie's telegraphing it. He's throwing from too far away. Here's the thing. Eddie has multiple speeds. Thor has one speed, and he fights the same speed all the way through.
Right.
So early on, it favours fast switch fibers, which is Eddie. But as it goes on, you would expect Thor to have more cardio.
Thor's more of a Volvo, even though he's not from that part of he's from that part of the world.
Eddie's trying to bait him to swing.
It's quite an obvious bait, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's really setting the trap there,
but
isn't he?
He needs to. Everything about Eddie is unfortunate. I just feel like he's been let down by his coach so much here.
Right, because you're looking at his stance, you're looking at how he's not really getting inside, he's not really throwing any jabs at all.
But it's not Eddie, though. Like, I mean, obviously it's his technique, but I see the ability in them physically. But it's what he's doing isn't, like, if he just had a bit more. If he had like 2 months with Lazar up north, he'd be ready for this guy.
I don't know what I could have done with him up north, Brian, but good. That's very nice of you to say.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, Lawrence Oswecki is the kind of guy who can finish off your technique.
You just need the fundamentals, and that's what Thor's got. I said it in my preview. He's got all the fundamentals. It's a 1-2 from Thor there. Backs Eddie up. I do think that Eddie's clearly struggling now physically here. He's getting tired. He's slowing right down.
He dropped off at a minute and a half.
Thor. Oh, and he's wobbled Thor a little bit. Go on, lad. But Thor straight back on that jab. Credit to him. Eddie's gone down.
Eddie's down. Eddie's knockdown didn't count, by the way, because it was a slip. Looks pretty happy. Good to go.
Eddie looks defeated in his face, though.
Yeah, you can sort of tell at
he
this
looks
point,
a bit
can't
gutted.
you? Yeah, because he said this was the desolation of Thor tonight.
With 2 years training, you could be, a lot more ready for a fight like this. And I think everything I said in my preview basically has been highlighted in this fight. Eddie's fast twitch fibers have been there. The reach and the fundamentals of Thor have been there. A minute left.
He's just got to get on that inside, hasn't he? He's got 1 minute left.
He's just carrying so much body weight right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on, Eddie. Come on. 1 minute left.
He's tired.
This is where you need someone just screaming at him going, everything you've got now, Eddie.
Yeah, someone in that corner. Because even if you get knocked out now.
Body shot from Eddie. Go on, flick that jab. Flick it. I think Thor could really step his foot on the gas right now, and I'm not really sure why he isn't.
He doesn't want to get knocked out. Probably knows that if he just keeps... jabbing away.
He's playing it safe, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
See, Eddie didn't play it safe, and I do respect that. He went for the kill. He's trying to land it now.
There you go. Right.
Good right hand from Eddie. Go on, Eddie. Chase him down. Is that it? Good fight. Touch gloves.
There you go.
I think the main thing about this fight was they both got dropped. They both got back up, and they both showed that they're not just big weightlifters, but they are genuine tough guys. I knew that about Eddie, and I think they've done themselves proud. Both of them have. Like, truly, I'm not just saying that. I've got a lot of respect for them. People don't understand when you're as big as these guys to take licks off another fucking monster like that. It ain't fucking easy.
And there you go. Thor got the win.
I'm gutted for Eddie because I just think that fight could have been won. But unfortunately, as we've seen in YouTube boxing, and this is one thing that YouTube boxing definitely does apply, your coach is literally the difference between winning and losing. When Joe Weller picked whoever the fuck he picked and KSI picked Vidal Riley, that was to me, if Vidal had been on Joe Weller's side, the result could easily have been different.
It evens things up a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, physically.
Literally.
Yeah.
If you've got someone who knows everything that they're talking about, which Thor did in a world champion trainer boxer, Thor went for the knockout, couldn't get it. Eddie kept getting up, showed some heart, showed grit and determination. But I felt like at the end of that second round, we could see some of the things I'd mentioned, telegraphing, overcommitting, throwing everything into one punch, and the level of weight Eddie was carrying. He was doing like 240 kilogram squats before boxing. When I showed my boxing coach some of the build-up, Lawrence Oswecki, who we have on the knockout, he was like, I would have cut out all that weightlifting a long time ago. Made him slick, made him fast.
You almost want to have a mixture of like this at the top of a card and then a load of YouTubers below that.
I think that would be great. I think that would be a really fun night. But Eddie needs to change his trainer, because there's just no way that guy should be coaching Eddie how to box. I would love him to get a real boxing coach if he wants to pursue this, because nothing can compare to a fucking legit camp. Loads of people are saying Deji versus Thor.
Deji versus Thor. A lot of people saying Deji would knock out Thor in 1 round.
Sup, guys? So I've decided who my next boxing match is going to be against.
Thor.
This time I'm going to get the win.